Hey there, Peak and Glint fam. Welcome back to another riveting episode of Peak and Glint Sagas. Today's stories are not just emotionally charged, they're life-altering. So if you're ready for a roller coaster of emotions, hit that subscribe button, grab your favorite snacks, and let's dive straight into the heart of these sagas. Our first tale unfolds as a relationship takes an unexpected turn towards separation and divorce. It's a journey of self-discovery, regret, and navigating the aftermath of lost love. Stick around for some valuable insights. Then, we unravel a story where the boundaries of intimacy are tested, leading to a shocking revelation during makeup S3X. The question lingers, is this a red flag or just a result of crazy drunk passion? You don't want to miss this one. And finally, we explore the complexities of family dynamics as a mother grapples with the aftermath of her son's romantic entanglements. It's a delicate balance between loyalty, love, and the harsh realities of relationships. Brace yourselves for some tough decisions ahead. Don't forget to hit like if you're ready for the emotional ride, and let's get started on Peak and Glint Sagas. Story 1.
My wife has decided today that she wants to move forward amicably towards separation and then divorce. Let me explain. My wife 32F and I 38M have been together for roughly 9 years with no children. We lived together for 8 of those years and married for 2 of them. During the relationship, there was no infidelity that I am aware of or abuse. We have had intimacy and S3 Zool issues for several years, not non-existent, but more of a status quo. We did seek therapy for it several years ago, but it kind of fell off. About a month ago, though, my wife told me she didn't think she loves me anymore. It was due to what she felt was my lack of trying and missing connection over a long time, where she built up resentment for me for the things I may not have done up to her expectations. She has trouble communicating her negative emotions a lot of the time. So I was aware she had been feeling different, as we had talked about it a month before this incident, but was not fully aware of the extent of the lost feelings, as in she doesn't love me. After this, I ramped it up to 11 after that to show her I could change, not just for her but for myself. But I knew deep down it was too little too late. I also am fully aware that anyone about to respond that I needed to do that before. But that is my cross to bear, as it means the end of my relationship, as it seems. We did seek couples therapy immediately after she told me that. We had one appointment to go over the situation with the therapist. She then gave us assessments to see where we stood in the relationship and areas of focus. Then today came for the follow-up for these assessments, and my wife had decided she no longer wanted to continue our relationship and felt that the lost feelings could never return. I was told by my wife throughout our relationship she didn't feel listened to, and I guess to an extent she is right, despite me thinking I had been listening. Also, I have suffered from depression for a while now, which I know played a role in this. I know that the relationship has reached the point of no return, and for once I think I am listening to her like she wants. I had held out hope she wanted to try, but then today came and that was dashed. I am devastated, but know I must move forward. I have so much regret that I didn't do what needed to be done before it became too late. I also have read that a lot of men have put themselves in this situation. I guess what I'm saying is I could use guidance in this terrible time on how to navigate this moving forward. I still love her, and a small part of me still wants to try, but I know she doesn't, so I'm going to do what she asks and move towards separating. I am also determined to make the necessary changes in my life so that I can grow from this. How does one deal with the loss of love this deep and get rid of the hope of reconciliation? If I can learn to accept that, I know I will have a better time of getting through this.
Story 2.
I 29F husband 31 am admitted to wanting to sleep with my friends during S3X. My husband and I have been married for 3 years now, together for 8, and have been in a rocky spot. S3X is very spotty, he's distant and often on his phone, doesn't want to go to the gym together or help cook dinner, help around the house, etc. We've both gone back into therapy to work through our mental health issues, and the other night, after a fairly dramatic fight, we had a few drinks and slipped into the bedroom for makeup S3X. I was so happy to finally be connecting with him S3 Zuli, except it took a turn. Our normal dirty talk escalated to a place I'd never heard from him before. He asked if I ever considered bringing another person in, and started to talk about my 2 best friends. I changed the subject and diverted because the thought made me physically ill and super insecure. I have a very small group of female friends, and I just feel violated that he considered them in such a way so much. Oh, he asked me if I would bring them in. He brought it back up again, talking about who he'd rather do and what he thinks about with them, and I wanted to cry. Woman crying image. I should have spoken up, but I was just so happy to be connecting with him I couldn't bring myself to do so. I'm now so uncomfortable, resentful, and feel cheap for some dumb reason, Would you take this as a red flag? Am I overthinking crazy drunk S3X and should I just trust my husband?
Story 3.
My wife, 34F, and I, 32M, have a 3-year-old son. He's a curious and smart little boy, but he doesn't talk. I know he can talk, but he does so very sparsely. He can go days in a row without saying anything. It's very concerning to me, especially since he does not have hearing problems and can non-verbally communicate well, for example, make faces, claps, gives thumbs up or down, shakes head, etc. I've spoken to my wife about this, and she just thinks he takes after her. My wife is a quiet, reserved woman and has a low, soft voice. She's never the first to speak up and really doesn't socialize with anyone unless they initiate it. Our house is very quiet as well. I make about 90% of the noise. My son started attending preschool this year, and his teacher has expressed the same concern. She suggested I take him to a speech therapist. I talked it over with my wife, and we took him to our pediatrician. He said quite a few words and passed the hearing test again. The doctor doesn't think there's anything wrong, but gave us a referral for further evaluation. My wife thought it was unnecessary and refused to book an appointment. However, I did and didn't tell her. Unfortunately, I missed the confirmation call, and they called my wife instead. She ended up canceling the appointment and accused me of breaking her trust. She wants to pull our son out of preschool and has left with our son to her mom's for the past few days. I feel I was acting responsibly, but she interpreted it as an attack. I think she was being unintentionally neglectful too.
Story 4.
My boyfriend 30M continues to watch porn even when I'm at home 25F, despite my repeated requests for him to stop. It's unsettling because I've asked him more than 10 times, explaining how uncomfortable it makes me feel. I'd understand if I were absent or constantly rejecting him, but he does it while I'm in the house, and I'm always available for him. This situation has worsened my self-esteem problems, as I feel he's purposefully seeking something different from what I look like. He's apologized, but this repeated behavior doesn't feel like a mere mistake. It's affecting my perception of our relationship and my own desirability. I'm heartbroken and seeking opinions or advice from anyone who has faced a similar situation. I fear becoming paranoid and crazy about him seeking alternatives whenever I'm not around, which might be dismissed as an overreaction. I know he doesn't see it as a bad thing and the apology is just to shut me up. How can I get over this? I feel like I might be overreacting because it's just porn, but I am in the next room. How can I deal with this effectively? Overall, I'm deeply saddened by this situation. My boyfriend won't stop watching porn while me in the house, and it's hurting me emotionally.
Story 5.
I 46F just recently found out that my youngest son to OM is dating the ex-girlfriend to F of my eldest son to 4M. So yeah, he's now with his brother's ex. And he's kept it from me because he obviously knew I'd disapprove. I was only told about it by the girl's mother when I ran into her at the salon. My eldest son of course doesn't know about this as well. So now I'm in this impossible situation where I either must keep a secret from him or to tell him the truth, which will certainly break his heart and forever change his relationship with his brother and maybe our entire family. I went ballistic on my youngest and told him I do not approve of this. He admits he should have told me about it, that told me he's an adult and he can do whatever he wants with his life, and that he doesn't need my blessing. I can either accept it or stay out of his life. I can't see a way to be fine with this.
And there you have it, Peak and Glint Fam. Another set of sagas that leave us questioning the intricacies of human connections. If you found yourself hooked and wanting more, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and join our community. Your comments and insights are always welcome down below. We love hearing your perspectives. Until next time, stay tuned for more sagas, more emotions, and more unexpected twists. This is Peak and GlintSagas, signing off. Catch you in the next one.